I don't normally do intros for these videos anymore, but this is a special edition of the Comment Waste Bin. This is going to be special in the sense that this isn't going to feature comments plucked out from under my videos, but rather posts shared in my Discord server. For those of you who aren't in there, my server has a channel completely dedicated to sharing stupid comments, though I'd say 95% of what's shared in there are Twitter posts. Not to say that I have an issue with that, that's the bulk of what I share in that chat, and that's the bulk of what you're going to see in this video. Maybe I should rename that channel to Stupid Posts instead, but anyway, I figured since this is the 10th edition of the Comment Waste Bin, why not add a little twist to this video? Anyway, without further ado, I hate intros, I'd rather just get into the meat and potatoes of the video. Let's begin, shall we? Why are the Zionists at Rockstar Games releasing this sexualized video game for children in America? Get hashtag ban GTA 6 trending right now. I remember this little controversy that only lasted like a few days on Twitter. GTA is too violent, too sexual. Then don't fucking buy the game. It's almost like these games are aimed at a certain demographic, which are not children, but rather adults. I know still a lot of children play GTA, but that is not at the fault of Rockstar, that is at the fault of the parents. There is a rating right at the front of the fucking game box, M for mature, and if you look at the back of the box, there are a list of reasons as to why that game is rated M for mature. So if you are so shocked and appalled that children are playing games like GTA, encourage parents to pay more attention to that rating that's on the box. This is what I'm so fucking sick of. Oh my god, little Timmy is playing a game where he can bang hookers and shoot people. Oh, the fucking horror. We gotta get this game banned and direct our ire towards the studio who made the game. Or maybe, just maybe, you could have done some basic ass research into the game little Timmy wanted to play before fucking buying it for him. You can look at that M rating on the box and then see why that game is rated M. Or you can watch some gameplay videos on YouTube. But whatever, the guy who wrote this tweet is a grifter to the fucking max, so he more than likely does not believe a word of what he wrote. He more than likely wanted to bait people into engaging with him so he could receive like 2 pennies from the engagement the tweet received. Welcome to Musk's Twitter, everyone. I am still a liberal and always will be. I will always speak my truth even if you type horrible shit like this in response. Video games are supposed to be fun, and I don't care how mad that makes you. I will keep saying that. Video games are supposed to be fun, not political lectures. I'm currently playing Mother 3 for like, I don't know, the 5th or 6th time. Great fucking game. Do yourself a favor and play it if you haven't already. I'll try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but the game's main setting is a small town called Tasmilly Village. At the beginning of the game, the town is classless, there is no government, no money, and all labor seems to be voluntary. This all changes when a certain character stumbles upon the island this village is located in. Again, want to keep this as spoiler-free as possible for those who haven't played the game but want to. This character introduces currency to the inhabitants of this village, and within a few years' time, the villagers become blinded by consumerism. On top of being a game that features anti-capitalist themes, it's also just a really fucking fun RPG, oozing with charm and weird humor that the Mother series is known for. It's almost like a game can be fun and convey a serious and politically charged message at the same time. Have you ever fucking played a Metal Gear Solid game? Video games delivering a political message is nothing fucking new. You just don't agree with the message. But instead of complaining about the actual message of the game that you do not agree with, you just blanketly say, oh, I liked video games until they went political. What the fuck does that mean? And again, plenty of games for decades have been political. Like, if a game comes out and it espouses pro-white supremacist messages, I'm going to call that game out for the vile content it includes, instead of just saying, I don't like this game because it's political. No shit, the game is political. That's not the part I have an issue with. The part I would have an issue with is the game being in favor of vile politics that would be a detriment to people in this world. But anyway, Boogie has been on this really weird tirade as of late, and tweeting stupid shit like, video games should just be about the fun and not lecturing straight white men or some stupid shit like that. And when people would ask him for examples of video games doing this, he would just say, I can't name any, do your own fucking research. I can't believe that this fucking idiot was once a respected YouTuber. Has anyone created their reputation as hard as Boogie2988 has? That documentary didn't work when it came to people paying attention to him again, and now he's pandering to the right. Absolutely pathetic. I don't get it. He literally did nothing. He tried to talk foot fetish with some T-slur, anti-trans slur. Big deal. He talked some shit to Massey, like what the fuck, this is so trivial. He didn't sexually assault anyone. Bunch of R-slur, ableist slur. This is in reference to the Chugga Conroy allegations, and I gotta say, a lot of people really exposed themselves for being, well, creeps themselves when this drama was relevant. He's innocent. He said that all of the feet and sneaker talk and jokes was a fetish of his, and even asked her if she was okay with him continually bringing it up. And she said yes, so therefore, Chugga is absolved of any wrongdoing. No. She may have said yes in that moment, but consent can absolutely be revoked. And I'm sorry, I know Chugga has autism, but if someone does not reply to you, and you're incessantly DMing them for months on end, that is a clear enough cue that they do not want to talk to you. And if Chugga seriously could not see that Lady Emily did not want to engage with him anymore, that is a serious disconnect, because that is not normal behavior. And he only told her that the constant remarks and jokes about her feet and sneakers stem from a fetish he really has after he already made those constant remarks and jokes. So she may have found the jokes funny in the moment when she thought they were nothing more than harmless jokes, but when he dropped the bomb that he actually does have a feet and sneaker fetish, that allowed her to re-evaluate how she feels about these jokes. And therefore, she wasn't comfortable speaking with him anymore and wasn't comfortable with the constant remarks about her feet and sneakers anymore. Again, consent can be revoked, but that seems to be a foreign concept for so many people online, and I find that so fucking disturbing. And about the Massey thing, he made constant sexually charged remarks towards her. She even explicitly told him that these remarks make her uncomfortable and told him to cut that shit out, and he never did. If you view that as, just playful banter, just talking some shit, she needs to grow a spine, then I think that speaks volumes about you, and there is something seriously disconnected in your head. And I like that you only draw the line at sexual assault. Well, at least he didn't rape anyone, as if that still excuses his weird and creepy behavior towards several women throughout the years. Words can still have an impact on people, especially if they are constant unwanted remarks that you have already made clear that you do not appreciate. If your moral compass is so fucking broken that you can only identify something as bad when it is as extreme as something like rape, then again, that speaks volumes about you, and there is something seriously disconnected in your head. Oh look, a YouTube comment, finally! Slight spoiler, this is the only YouTube comment that's going to be featured in this video. Anyway, I still hate stoners. We turned my dad transgender. How the actual fuck, you know what, I'm not even gonna respond to this comment. It really broke my brain. It broke my brain worse than we could ever achieve. I'm gonna need like 50 bong hits after reading this shit. Ugh, my brain, it still fucking hurts. Ugh, let's move on. It's crazy that she actually ruined video games permanently, and that is a picture of Anita Sarkeesian. Remember Anita Sarkeesian? She's the feminist lady from like 10 years ago who made some superficial critiques of video games that really weren't worth getting so worked up over, and yet she still became the internet's boogie woman for like 3 years. What did she do ultimately? What was her lasting impact? Because last I checked, mostly everyone has forgotten about her at this point. I even checked her channel channel out around the time I first saw this tweet, and a lot of the videos struggle to even get like 1,000 views these days. Oh, but video games these days are plagued with progressive messaging, trans characters, gay characters, black characters. It's almost like diversity in media is becoming less of a taboo these days, so therefore game devs are more emboldened to add these sorts of characters into their games they may not have been able to otherwise previously. Believe it or not, outside of your weird little bubble on social media, people really don't give a fuck about representation of minority groups in media. If they find anything weird, it is you people constantly fucking complaining about it, because it is such a non-issue. And if you're still seething over Anita Sarkeesian supposedly ruining video games in the year 2024, then you have way more major issues going on with you than that you need to seek help for immediately. Unbuckle seatbelt to reach the drive-thru window with Riz. Just tasted some vomit, and I choked on some. Can we make it international law for these corporations to stop trying to be quirky and relatable with the kids? Because has it ever worked? Has it ever fucking worked? Because every time I have seen these corporations try to be hip and relatable with the kids, they just get dunked on social media. Because it just radiates that middle-aged person who thinks they're still hip and cool energy. There's a reason that gif with Steve Buscemi saying, "How do you do, fellow kids," is so popular, because it makes fun of shit exactly like this. Because no one fucking likes it. Trust me, McDonald's, people will still eat your bottom-of-the-barrel fast food sludge, with or without these god-awful attempts at being cool and relatable with the kids. As an aside, what the fuck does Riz even mean? I've been seeing that word thrown around on the internet for the past, like, I don't know, 6 months or so, maybe even more. Is it another word for style? That's my assumption, given the context I usually seen it used in. See, I'm not hip and cool either, but you don't see me throwing around stupid internet lingo left and right in an attempt to be cool, because I know I'm not. Also, Riz looks like jizz. That's another reason I don't use the word. If I ruined it for you, good. Legal marriage has become a joke. If you can marry whoever you want, whenever, and separate at any point without boundaries, the union has no meaning or societal benefit. And no fault divorce. Create incentives to get married and remain married, and encourage childbearing. Yeah, that's totally going to create more incentive to get married. If you wind up married with a shitty partner who you want to separate from, we're going to make it even harder for you to separate from them. This is exactly what I mean when I've said plenty of times in the past that conservatives only view women as objects they want to control. In their eyes, women have no autonomy of their own. That's why they want a nationwide abortion ban, because they don't think it's the place of a woman to say that she doesn't want the fetus that's growing inside her own fucking body. To them, a woman should always be in a role that is subservient and obedient to a man, and if she's in a marriage that she is unhappy in, oh well, she is still fulfilling her designated role in society, being the little homemaker and bearing a man's children. This is exactly why less and less women are voting Republican, because this is the exact kind of shit the Republican Party has been spewing. We don't believe that a woman has the agency to decide what kind of life she wants to lead for herself. She needs to know her place in society, become a housewife, and a baby-making machine. When you have a major political party in this country telling you that you are inherently lesser solely predicated on the genitalia you happen to be born with, who in their right mind, who is on the receiving end of this rhetoric, is going to vote for said party? And I am so fucking sick of the right constantly going on and on and on and on about their breeding fetish that they just cannot keep to themselves. Because this is such a fucking hyperfixation with them. When you're married to a partner, well, one, you can't leave them, and two, you must create children with them, as if that is the be-all, end-all of a human relationship. There is currently, what, 8 billion of us now? There is no urgent need to procreate. In fact, I would be perfectly fine if less of us decided to procreate. But whatever, keep saying shit like this and then wonder why Republican voter turnout keeps getting worse and worse. Oat milk is not in the Bible. Video games are not in the Bible. Tofu is not in the Bible. Gender pronouns are not in the Bible. Electric vehicles are not in the Bible. If these things were so good for humanity, why didn't God give them his endorsement in the scripture? Last I checked, being a fucking idiot on Twitter isn't in the Bible either, so can you shut the fuck up permanently, please? One could dream. TERFs are punk. Queer poly people think they are punk because they have multicolored hair. But true punks are brave contrarians who are not scared to think against the grain. That, my friend, is punk. Go to a punk show, I dare you. I don't listen to punk music. Nothing screams punk more than conforming to social norms and trying to enforce said norms onto other people. What? That's actually conservative? No, no. All those teenagers in the 70s with the crazy hair were actually on the side of the conservatives. Totally. This would be hilarious if it wasn't so grotesque and evil. Another bogus study, this one claiming that 0 patients regret chopping their breasts off. How could they possibly arrive at this conclusion? Well, let's do what the media does and actually read the study, which is something that Matt Walsh doesn't do. Surprise, surprise. If you actually read the fucking article he is quote tweeting, you would find that the study it is referencing had a very small sample size. From the article itself, and I'll link it in the description. For the study, researchers surveyed 235 people who had a gender-affirming mastectomy at the University of Michigan. When the study was conducted last year, the participants were between 2 and 23.6 years past their surgeries. Of the participants, 139, nearly 60%, answered the survey accurately and returned it to the researchers. Their median satisfaction with decision scale score was 5 on a 5-point scale, indicating the highest possible level of satisfaction. The median decision regret scale score was 0 on a 100-point scale, meaning not a single patient regretted their choice to have the surgery. Overall, a trans person is overwhelmingly more likely to respond well to gender-affirming surgery as opposed to regretting said surgery. Trans people already take up a single-digit percentage of people in this country, and the trans people who regret their gender-affirming surgery are already a minority of a minority. And if you take an extremely small sample size of trans people for a study and ask them if they regret their gender-affirming surgery, no shit, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a trans person who says they regret their surgery. Matt Walsh makes it seem like they asked like 1 million trans people if they regret their gender-affirming surgery, and 0 people out of that 1 million people said no. Matt Walsh knows that his audience won't read past the fucking headline, because they don't care about facts, they just want to be mad at something. But yes, these are the people who are going to take down woke gender ideology or whatever the fuck. People who don't have the reading comprehension to read through an article. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you to all of the people in my Discord server who shared these posts because they were great material for this video. Maybe I'll do this again for the comment waste bin number 20, which will probably be in like another 6 or 7 fucking years or so, however long I've been doing this series so far. And I guess it's applicable that I upload a special video on a special day. Well, kinda sorta special to me. It's probably just any other fucking day for you. I'll let you guess what I'm referring to. Well, really, it's just like any other day for me also, but also kinda sorta substantial. Anyway, enough vague talk. That's all the stupid posts I had to respond to. Bye-bye.